All right, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Here we are. What do we got? Call number one. Jiminy Christmas. Here we are. We're ready to rock. Take this off. Let me do something really quick. I tried to share the file in the chat, but what I would like to do is I'll share my screen here really quick, and I will show you where the workbook is inside of school. Now, if you've been poking around, you probably see that there's like a lot of things missing. That's on purpose. Like, I don't want you to go too far crazy down the rabbit hole because I've pre-built 99% of the entire course. And now I realize that was kind of dumb because I'm like, I can just give you guys everything and it'll look really confusing really fast. So, with that being said, if you go into the classroom and you go to week one, there is the workbook down at the bottom. School is kind of goofy, right? If you want to share a link or a file or something, it always shows up at the very bottom of it. So if you ever kind of get lost, like don't worry, don't stress. The stuff is all in there. But the workbook should be right there, and it looks like this. And this will kind of be this is for the whole first week, and then I'll put out the second week one, and we'll just kind of go through that. But with that being said, are you guys kind of like ready to rock? Can we dive in here a little bit today?
Yes,
Yes. You
yes,
guys excited for
always.
this or what? I gotten so many heartfelt messages. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're gonna really build something special here. So,
Yep, I'm
anybody got
looking
any
forward
good
to
words
building
of
my own
wisdom before we
Skynet.
start?
Whoops.
Sally, do you have words of wisdom? Come on, give us something.
Do I have words of wisdom?
Make it really inspirational for us.
We are beginning the first day of a spectacular journey that we
Yeah.
have no clue what it's going to be at the end.
That'll be perfect. That's
Yes,
great. Bashar, did you make it on here yet?
Yes,
Where is he?
sir. I'm here.
Oh, there he is. Okay,
quite
cool.
awesome. Yes.
I've got to
Loading,
change
man.
it.
Let's go.
You ready to rock? Do you have any words of wisdom to start us off? Otherwise, we'll just get rolling.
Well, I was just gonna say, I've been looking forward to this. This has been something that's 8 years in the works, and it's finally here. And I'm very excited to be doing it side by side, Stephen. Probably wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have chosen anyone else to do this next to side by side. And I'm excited for all of you guys that are here. I know that the next 30 days, especially, are going to be super exciting, and there's just going to be so much that we're going to learn all together. One thing that I just want to say before we get started here is that you'll probably face obstacles. You probably will get to a certain point where you're a little confused. You might feel a little doubtful, a little afraid, a little, taken back. Just know those are all normal feelings. That only means that you are human and you should be and will be feeling all those emotions. But that's why you've got us here. That's why you've got this community. Lean on us. Reach out. When in doubt, reach out. Write this down. When in doubt, reach out. We're here for you. We're rooting for you. We're excited for you. If you ever feel doubtful, I learned this from Aaron. He always says, borrow my belief. And,
Like that.
can't wait to see you crush it. Stephen, take it away, good sir.
Man, exciting times. I'm trying to move all my stuff around here so I can see everybody at the same time. Um, Listen, guys, I'm really excited. I said in the videos, I don't know if you saw the little welcome video. I recorded another one last night because I was just kind of inspired to communicate with you guys. If it ever becomes too much, let me know because I want to give you literally everything. But I'm much like a fire hydrant. I will just give you everything all at once. And I know that tends to be a little bit overwhelming. So I want to make sure that everyone gets everything that you possibly need. And at the same time, I don't want to overwhelm you and confuse you. So if there is ever anything that pops up that you're like, dude, this is too much, this is crazy, whatever, just let me know. And I'm here. The vast majority of you guys, you want one-on-one coaching, you got it. Hit me up on school any time of the day. One thing that I do ask of you, if you do have a good question, post it in the main area under questions so that everyone can benefit from it. Because you might ask a question like I said this in the little video, the quality of our life is the quality of questions that we ask. You ask a better quality question, you get a better quality answer, and you get a better quality life. And sometimes we don't get the answers just because we don't know what question to ask. But by helping everyone else, you can actually post those questions in there and everyone can kind of see. So it is really, really helpful. So, anyways, I'm excited. Later on here today, we can spend a little time getting to know each other a little bit more if you want. You guys kind of heard my story a little bit. Broke, homeless, lived on the streets for 2 years, spent the last of my money on Tony Robbins' book. Went back, built one of the largest martial arts schools in the country, one of the largest in the world, actually. Um, and then from there, I sold that business and I moved overseas and I traveled to about 60 countries because I kind of lost my mind and had to go and hit the road. I built another business in the offshore asset protection and corporate services business, which always sounds really cool and scary, right? Like James Bond and Jason Bourne and second passports and offshore banking. And dude, it was really pretty boring. It's like doctors who want to retire to Costa Rica. They need an offshore bank account. They need a second home in a different country. Anyways, and then I
You
went
can
into
help out with that
consulting.
stuff too.
What's that?
You can help out with that stuff too, like offshore banks and all that good stuff.
Yes, but here's my disclaimer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm an idiot. You should never listen to me for anything ever.
Gotcha. All right.
But yeah, we'll probably get into some of that later in the course, especially for those guys who want to like take this business to the next level and you got to kind of figure out payment systems across borders and all that stuff. We'll talk about that later. But anyways, you guys all obviously know Bashar. Is there anyone who just doesn't know Bashar? Like you just got in, you scrambled your way in, you have no idea who he is. Anybody? Okay. Bashar, do you want to give a quick intro? You might as well.
Um, thank you all for being here. Maybe Sally, I think you came through 10x BNB. Maybe you don't know a whole lot about me, or maybe you do. I'm not exactly sure. But been an entrepreneur for the last I don't know, maybe 15, 16 years now. Since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be one. My father was one. Unfortunately, his businesses tumbled in Iraq after the Gulf War in 91. He was never able to rebuild. In 2006, we migrated to America. I realized that there are opportunities now ahead of me. Started the first business, family business, in 2007, I believe it was 2008. It was me, my brother, my 62-year-old mom, and 74-year-old dad. Yes, they are 12 years apart. And they got married after 28 days of meeting each other. They've been married for 57 years. So, I mean, if that's, there's definitely something there we can all learn from. We after about 4 years in that business, I convinced the family to invest everything that they had earned into me because I was going to put us back on the map. Started a restaurant in 2003, took it over September 30th, 2013. I'm sorry, not three. 2.5 years, did not know what the hell I was doing. April 28th, 2020, April 28th, 2015, the place caught on fire. I had no insurance to cover the damages. I got kicked out by my landlord. With everything that was going on, hundreds of thousands of dollars lost, $150,000 in debt, depression, reunited with a friend. He said that I should start looking at stuff online. There's a thing called you can make money online. How many here have come up across that, right? And went online, started looking at a whole bunch of stuff, and before I knew it, I realized that there's this thing called selling products on Amazon that I could do from anywhere in the world and make money. First time I made my first $42 sale, my life changed. I thought, okay, that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. A few years later, I realized that I had a skill that other people can probably leverage. Started teaching a few people. There was a specific person in specific that Zach Brown, FedEx driver, wanted to ride his dirt bike all around the country, but couldn't do that because he was stuck in a dead-end job. Helped him quit his job, build a full-time income online, and I realized, okay, there's something here. And that's when BJK University was founded. This was early mid 2019. Since then, we've impacted lives and helped over 20,000 people. Provide them an opportunity to build a full-time income online, some just a side hustle. But it's our thesis, our goal from day one was to provide families with skills they can turn into income, not just Amazon, but many different skills. And about last year was when we realized we're ready to launch a second skill. And as we looked around, kept on looking around, AI was the thing that was disrupting our lives as we know it. And we thought, that's probably the one thing that we need to help people with. And I'm not an AI expert. Looked around. Steve was there. We worked together about 3 years ago on a project with our marketing team, and you know, fast forward 7, 8 months later, here we are. And I'm very excited to be taking this journey with him in the next chapter of BJK University's history. And I always say we're building history as we know it. And so that's kind of me. Long story long. If you guys got any more questions later, as Steven said, you know, we can talk a little bit more later and get to know each other. But yeah, don't want to take any more time from today. Steven, take it away, man.
Let's rock it. You guys ready to go?
Let's go.
Come on, give me a yes or something. Give
Been
me some
waiting for
power
like
up in
3
here.
minutes
Yes,
now. Ready,
yes.
ready.
Oh, I'll tell
Always.
you a little secret that'll change your life right here and right now. If you didn't know this, if you click the mute unmute button with your mouse once, from then on it's spacebar. So you can hold down the spacebar, it'll unmute you. You can let it go to mute you again. Try it. Come on.
I didn't know
Give it
that. That's awesome. Yeah.
to me. Did
My
I just
phone doesn't
change your
have a
life?
space bar.
Did I just change your life? Come on.
Like,
So, yeah, there we go. Anyways, here's our goal, my friends. Number one, a business that generates income using AI automation. I I have a sneaking suspicion. My goal here, my secret goal, you know, our promise is 30 days, we'll get you your first dollar and all that good stuff. But my secret goal here is within this first week, I want you 80 to 90% of the way there. So this first week might feel a little fast, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here to hold your hand the entire way. If you get stuck, you get wrapped up, whatever. I'm here to help you. My brother is also in this course. If you get stuck in an automation, I make him work for free. So he can help you fix the automation. If I can't, if I'm not around, like we're all here to support each other. And the benefit of this is it's a small group, so we can all just talk to each other, and we don't have to worry about, oh, what am I saying, or do I need to look proper or whatever. No, none of that right now. Let's just build this business. Everyone's cool with that? Yes. Cool.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Number two, here's my thing, and you probably saw this in my little welcome video, but what I really want for you, and I hope you buy this idea, you hope you buy this belief. I want you to have a repeatable sales process. Now that might sound a little scary, but what I mean by that is I want you to have your own slot machine. That when you pull the lever, money comes out. You pull the lever, money comes out. A business is simply a system that delivers a result and you get paid for it. That's it. So we're not going to do all these fancy things. You've seen probably all the chaos about AI online right now. And Bashar even mentioned it yesterday on our webinar where you see these, oh, download my free template. And it's some weird N8N thing with 1,000 different nodes and lines going all over the place. And they don't know what the hell they're doing. It doesn't work. It breaks. It's not, it's fake. So everything that we're going to talk about here is simple solutions for real businesses that are going to make you money. And once we find one or two that you really enjoy to do, you can just offer that, get someone in, cha-ching. Offer that, get someone in, cha-ching. And then we can expand from there. So we want something that's repeatable. And I joked about it for my Tony Robbins gig back in the day. If I got up, showered, put the stupid suit and tie on, and shaved, you know, and I went out and spoke, I know some people would buy, some people wouldn't. But the next day and every day, as long as I did that, I became the number one salesman just because I was the most consistent out of everyone. And it wasn't that I was the greatest guy. It wasn't the greatest salesperson. You know, I wasn't the greatest on stage, but I became the top guy because I was just like, I got it, right? I schedule a meeting, I go speak, I get some sales. I schedule a meeting, I speak, I get some sales. That's all we're going to do here. It's really simple. Okay. So here's what I'm really after is to give you confidence, especially in this first week. You may not believe me right here, right now, but I can promise you, just by going through the webinars that we went, you already know 99% more than everyone else. Again, you might not believe me, but I'm telling you, it's a lot simpler than anyone else is making it out to be. So that's what we're going to work on. Here's our roadmap for the next 4 weeks. We got 90 days together, but here's our 4
Don't
weeks.
want to, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. Can you make me co-host? Because there is some echo, so I can kind of mute people.
Yeah, that would be great. Can I not make you co-host?
Should be able to if you just go to my name and
I did. Few more. Yeah, well, let me make you a co-host. That's so weird.
Okay, that's fine. If you guys can all just mute yourselves, and then as you want to say something, unmute because there's some echo and stuff like that. Thanks.
Permissions, permissions. You have permissions. Oh, that's so weird. Okay. Sorry, guys. Yeah, let's try to keep us muted as much as you can. Okay. Especially for the recording, right? Because if we're going to come back and just hear a bunch of nonsense in the background, that kind of sucks. Here we go. Week 1. We're building identity. We're going to get your first leads and we're going to build out your first automations. Sounds like a lot of work. It's not, I promise you. How many of you, just show of hands, how many of you went through kind of the make stuff already? You already got into make, you maybe, some of you guys made your first automations and stuff. Tell me out loud, was it scary? Was it hard? Or was it pretty simple?
A lot of reading, but if you stick with it, it's like, yeah.
I'm not much of a reader myself. That was the hardest part about it, was reading. Otherwise, if they just gave me the like click, 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 I would have had it done in 5 minutes, right? But the reading was a little bit more challenging for me as well.
Yeah,
I
I was
feel like a
slow
lot
at
of reading and things like in general, not just with the AI stuff. Like you get one look at it as like, oh, we got a book here. Like,
Yeah, exactly. What'd you say, David?
yeah, I was a slow reader and I was a bit distracted sometimes. So I wish I could have finished by Saturday, but I made it, but there are still some lessons that I need to go.
Here,
So
here's here's what I'd recommend to everyone. If you're going to go through it, don't try to do all the advanced ones and intermediate ones. Just do the basic ones. So you just get through that first. It's like the first demonstration of like doing the weather, right? Here's how to get the weather from weather.com or whatever. It's really simple because the moment you understand that, when I hand you a template, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I just click, 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 and it's done. So you don't need to go through the most advanced parts of this unless you just really love it. I hated the reading part of it. So to give you an idea, it was a little bit of a challenge for me as well. But anyways, week 2, we're going to talk about discovery calls. There are no sales calls in this process. So you guys, I don't know if we ever actually told you this directly, but I do this right now. Scaleandsuccess.com is my little agency. This month we'll probably do about 64,000. So we're doing all right. It's not millions and millions of dollars, but if you guys would like $60,000 a month, I think you can follow in my footsteps and do that. Can you make more? Yes. Can you make less? Yes, of course. But I'll kind of just give you the background. There is no sales calls. So if you don't feel like you're salesy, don't worry, because really it's just asking like, how does this fit together? How does this work? And you'll know all that. Week 3, we're going to deliver automations. Hopefully by that point, you've got a couple of paying clients, which I really think we'll be able to do earlier than that. But here's how to deliver it. Here's how to make sure it doesn't break. Here's how to, upsell them, if you will, on like retainers. Hey, do you want me to keep an eye on this? Give me $500 a month. Give me $1,000 a month, whatever it is. And then number 4, we'll talk about all the extras, right? Of like, okay, do you want to take this direction with the business? Do you want to take this direction? Bashar and I had this conversation before about some of you guys would just rather stay like a freelancer, which is great because you can make a really good living just doing a couple of gigs here and there on your side time, right? Some of you guys might want to build an actual agency where you might hire some people to do the automations for you and bring in business and grow that way. We'll talk all about that later on. So I just wanted to give you a quick little heads up. Logistics, just housekeeping. Monday through Friday this week we'll be together. How does this time work for everyone? Is everyone okay? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs in the middle, or thumbs down. Thumbs in the middle, thumbs in the middle, thumbs up, thumbs somewhat in the middle. Okay.
If I could say something,
Please.
before I knew anything about this, I, I'm I am already scheduled for some things this week. I mean, I think there are 3 I can be here, and some I can be here part of the time that I've already
Yep.
got. I mean, the rest of the time I've X'd out, but I
Okay,
already
cool.
had, yeah. So I just wanted to mention that.
So no stress at all. We're recording these. I will upload it as soon as we get done. So if you want to go back, and there are going to be some things that you guys probably will want to go back to at times and like, hey, what did we talk about in this? How do I fix this or that? Whatever. I want to make sure you guys are there. Plus, again, Sally, you got a question? Message me. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to live in school for the next 30 days, especially. So if you guys have anything, I don't eat, I don't sleep, I don't take a break, I don't have a life, I don't have kids. This is it. Okay, so I want to make that clear. Saturdays we'll do Q&A. Workbook, if you guys already saw that in the classroom week 1, there's a workbook at the very bottom. Again, just to repeat myself here, school has this weird thing where all the links in the files are at the very bottom of it. So you got to scroll all the way down to get to that bad boy. But that workbook is kind of what we'll work through this week, and I'll share the next one at the end of the week. Do your best to attend the classes or watch the replays. Do the homework, because that's the only thing that actually really matters. Report back in the school group. Let's do this together. If you stop communicating, that shows up a big red flag for me that maybe you're either stuck or you're stressed out or you're worried. So expect me to come after you if you're not posting inside of the school group. And I'll ask you what's going on if you need any help, right? And there are no dumb questions. So please ask as many as you possibly can. That helps me help you as well. So with that being said, everyone good to go? Ready to rock? If you've got the workbook beside you, cool. If you don't, not a problem. We're just going to go through this. The first thing we want to talk about is identity. Because how many of you ever said in the past, I'm not a techie person? Has anybody ever said this? Just show of hands. Me too. Me too. I even said it on our call yesterday, and I almost slapped myself because I said what I used to say about myself. I love people. I have unlimited patience for people. I will answer. I've, anybody, they can't do any wrong. Technology, when it doesn't work, I want to smash it. I have to stop saying crap like that. You, I would suggest, stop saying crap like that too. Because the strongest force in the human psychology is our need to align with who we think we are. So if we say things consistently, I'm not techie, I'm not techie, I'm not techie. You repeat it just like the evil witch makes the prince a frog. You're a frog, you're a frog, you're a frog. All of a sudden it becomes a frog. We do that to ourselves at the same time. The truth is you are tech savvy because you're on Zoom right now. Do you know how many people can't work Zoom? I would venture to guess half of your clients that you're going to deal with don't know how to use Zoom. So give yourself a little pat on the back for a second. I think you're fine. You can use Facebook, you can use Instagram, you can use ChatGPT, you can use Google. You're good to go. Don't stress. Just say this after me, please. I love technology. Technology loves me. Say it out loud. Just play with me. Come on.
I love
I
technology.
love technology.
Technology loves
Technology
I
me.
love
loves me.
technology.
Try it one more time.
Loves me.
I love
Technology,
technology. Technology loves me. Say it,
I
please.
love technology.
Loves me.
Technology
I
loves
love
me.
technology and technology loves me.
Good. Listen, I know it's going to sound stupid, but identity is so important because if you keep repeating this crap of like, I'm not techie, if you were to say that in front of a client, they're like, really? Right? Now, you might say that to alleviate some of the worries of, hey, listen, this is not that complex. That's fine. But for yourselves, your new identity is going to become an AI strategist. Key word being the strategist. You are a consultant. You're not just some worker who's just going to do, you're going to help real businesses with real problems. And we're going to do that with AI. We're going to do that with automations. But I want you to start to think through some of the business problems. I'm going to teach you that process throughout these next 30 days. But here's what I would like to do today. Number one, we're going to talk about your new identity. Number two, we're going to create a 30-day vision because without vision, we struggle, right? We want to make sure that we have that. And then today specifically, our homework is we're going to build out our little business skeleton. Like, what do you need? Simple stuff, emails, Google folders, just to put files and stay organized and all that good stuff. And I'll share with you a couple of Excel spreadsheets that you can use to track everything. So do me a favor. If you don't have a notebook by you or open up a Word document or Google Doc, I don't care what it is, but do me a favor for the next 30 seconds. I want you to just write down, why are you here? What do you really want to get out of this program? And you don't have to share it with me if you don't want, but I would love to hear some answers as we go on here in a minute. So if you're feeling brave, you can tell me. Some of you guys wrote in your introduction, which was so beautiful. Some of you guys kind of messaged me in the background. That's cool too. But just remind yourself, why are you actually here? What do you really want to get out of this?
I want to get out of my, in quotes, home office to buy a house.
Yes.
I live in my office, is what I'm
Welcome to
telling
the club.
you.
You see the cat bed behind me, right? I mean, anybody else got a good one?
I want peace of mind and stability at work. I'm doing extra hours so I can be promoted. I don't want to do that. My manager just got a situation, so he was placed elsewhere. I don't want to follow his footsteps. I want to keep doing what I do, and I want to build additional money so that I can be comfortable and be nice, be without additional stressors because I can't. How am I going to meet the bill?
I love it, brother. I love it.
I
I
can
think,
share.
oh, go ahead.
Do it, Hin.
Well, I am so excited to be here. Thank you, Stephen, for doing this. So I do have a couple of reasons why I am. It's a couple of reasons, not only one. Number one, I am very, very busy. Some of you know that I have my own business, the Amazon business. So I have my own team. Then I am already a business coach for the Amazon. So I have another duties for the Amazon, as well as I have some one-on-ones. As well, I would like to have an alternative skill that I can grow my business. So in order to do this, I need to be able to scale. And in order to scale, the AI will help me out. This is one of the biggest reasons why I'm here. It's just finding ways to make my job easier, like finding some like automation that emails come and tell me all my calendar, having automation for my calendars, having some processes with my for my team and for my one-on-one client as well. I can grow and have some business and do more money. So it's a lot of reasons. So I'm very excited, taking a lot of notes. I cannot wait for this course to start.
Fantastic. Give me one more. Who's got it? Vince, you got it?
Yeah, so I currently,
Or Nate too. I'll get you. No, don't worry. You can do it too, Nate. But go
okay,
ahead, Vince.
Okay. I
all
was
right.
waiting
So,
patiently. I was like, oh.
Stephen, I just want to thank you for taking the time to teach us a new skill. And I own a construction business currently, landscaping up in Northern California, and I've been doing it for 35 years. And it's taken an enormous toll on my body and my time. And I'm looking for the second chapter of my life to learn a new skill and run with it, utilize it, and eventually be able to have it be my main source of income. And honestly, would love to have some more freedom. Um, and to be able to put back into my community. I have grandkids right now, and I don't want to miss out on any of their endeavors. And I think that's about it. Just progressing and learning something new here to be able to be vital to what's going on out there in the real world for the next 20, 30 years.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. Nate, you got one more for us? Hit us.
I do, yeah. Sorry. No, I'm muted. Okay, couldn't tell for a second. To pursue what I want to pursue, because for most of my life I've lived a sheltered lifestyle, like living with my parents, and they've been looking out for me, and it's appreciated. But their interests, what they've gone through, they don't align with mine. And I turned 30 earlier this year, and I realized, you know what? I'm getting older. It's getting to a point now where it's like I want to think about my future, and I want to I want to start living more in confidence and pursuing what I want to do. Because I have like outside of all of this, one of the things I want to pursue is voice acting. Like give that a try. But with working a 9 to 5 job, trying to take care of things around the house, basically I'm spreading myself thin. And in addition to that, I've been doing what other people want for so long. It's haven't really focused on what I want, what I am passionate about, what I would want to try even. And this AI stuff, I've wondered about it for a while, and I figured give it a try, see where it goes, and if it turns out being a great boon for me, that can be a stepping stone for setting up my future, for pursuing my goals, and also getting out of the same safety routine that people I've known had helped me for a while, and actually just living more. It's like being more bold, basically. I saw that from a there's a little beer commercial with Sylvester Stallone, and his motto for that was just be bold.
Maybe without the beer. I guess, who knows,
Yeah,
right?
I mean the beer is optional, but I do like the sing.
Optional. Fantastic. So, guys, beautiful statements, right? And I'm very much like you. You can probably tell I'm quite a bit of a rebel. Like, I hate anybody telling me what to do. I hate someone to tell me I can't do something, whether it's government, taxes, president, weather, whatever. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. And entrepreneurship is about freedom, the ability to make your own decisions, the ability to make your own choices. And so here today, yeah, we're going to talk about how do we make money? How do we build this business? But for me, it's always two words: income and impact. We're going to make a hell of a lot of money. We're going to help a lot of people. That's all I really care about. Here's the one thing that I'd like you guys to write down. This is what the promise of AI really is. No longer do you have to let your small business keep you small-minded. For the vast majority of our lives, if you had a small business on your own, you were stuck with what you could do, what you can physically keep up with, how many hours you could work, how long you could go, how far you can go. Now, I've been kind of lucky over the years. I've worked really hard. I haven't slept more than 4 or 5 hours for 20 years. Like, it's been crazy, but my body has taken a serious toll on that. Now I look back at it, and man, if I had this AI stuff, I could have done 10 times more with half the work.
Mm.
And so for all of us here, as we help other people with their automations, we're going to automate our business at the same time. Like, it would be dumb of us to like put in all this work, like we're the workhorse, and then automate other people's businesses. No, we're going to do that for ourselves. So here's the question that I have next. What business are you in, and how is it really going? And this is something you might not want to share right now, but whether it's your 9 to 5 job, whether it's the business that you're in currently, and like Vince had kind of said, like, I'm in the construction, I'm in the landscaping business. How is it really going now? What is the trend? Is it going in the right direction or the wrong direction for you at the moment? And what I'd really like you to just think about is, what's kind of the chokehold of your own personal growth? What's been stopping you from hitting that next level? Whatever that looks like to you, because we've got, 25 of us on here right now. We all have different dreams and hopes and desires and all that stuff. But what's the chokehold? Is it really money? Is it time? Is it you don't know things? Is it education? Like, what is it for you that might be holding you back from that next level?
Hmm.
And maybe just give me a list really quick. What are some things that are really slowing you down at the moment?
Well, for me, there are only so many hours in a day.
Beautiful.
And I love what I do. I'm a family psychotherapist, as I put in my, I think, introduction. I have students, I have interns. But unfortunately, back in 2019, there was a tragedy in terms of my husband dying, self-inflicted, and thought there was life insurance. There was none. Our retirement is tied up in a racial something. I'm debt-free, but I have no money. And so, and I claim to be 36. In the gym, I can do things the 20 and 30 somethings can't do, but and some man said you're the age you feel, so 36. And right now I have 46 years of wisdom along with my being 36.
I love that, Sally. That's so great. Now, and here's, guys.
I need to say one other thing. This is really important. I have looked for things like this, and already I can tell this is so different in terms of real estate, in terms of stuff online, in terms of all sorts of businesses. And I swear, I think I have spent maybe something like $300,000 over a whole lot of years. And I kept telling people I need to do something with somebody. Just don't throw me out in the middle of the ocean and expect me to read something and do it. And so let me just tell you, the way you're doing this is fabulous. It really is. And I will tell lots of people about you.
Only good things, right?
Of course.
Because there's a lot of people that say I'm up nothing. So what's interesting is when I ask this question worldwide, You know, like I said, I did over 5,000 talks for Tony Robbins. I did 5,000 seminars in front of large audiences, small audiences. And I would ask the same question. How's it going? Scale 1 to 10. Everyone always answered their number or whatever. And I say, okay, what's preventing you from being a level 10 right now? Whether that's financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is. And everyone always comes up with the same list. I don't have.
What?
Tell me.
Money.
Money. I don't have
Time.
time. I don't have
Skills.
skills. I don't have.
They don't have the know-how.
I don't have the know-how. I don't have
Focus.
focus. I don't have.
No, no. It's all you have is excuses, it sounds like.
Excuses. There's a very fancy term for all these. If you guys want to write it down, it's called BS, which stands for
Bullshit.
belief systems.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right.
Ooh, swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss.
That's a trap.
Listen, it might be true, but it doesn't matter if it's true or not. Time is a great example. And I know this is annoying because you've heard this a million times. We all have 24 hours in the day. Oprah Winfrey has the same 24 hours you and I do. But what's different? What she does with that. Now, is she able to leverage more than we are at this moment? Sure, of course. She's got a huge staff, a lot of people. But with AI now, we can catch up pretty damn quick. All of a sudden, we can do the work of 100 people that used to, you know, you need to hire these people for millions and millions and millions of dollars to be able to just catch up. And for us, you know, life is going to look a little bit different. This business is going to go a lot faster and a lot better than any other business in the past. You guys have probably heard this in the news too. There's all these rumors and thoughts that people are trying to predict that the first one-person billion-dollar company is going to be very nearby. There's already 3 people, billion-dollar companies. Instagram only had 18 people when they sold their company. So when you think about this, we all have the ability to do so much more now. So the reason I'm bringing this up is not to just pound on my chest and like ramble at you, but I want you to kind of expand your mind a little bit that what we really have in front of us, the opportunities are endless. You can take this as far as you want to take this. All we want to do this week, though, is do the bare minimum of like, let's get your first dollar, because then it'll be real, not just to me, but to you. When you really know it's like, hey, there's a difference between confidence. Does anyone know the definition of confidence? I'll cut to the chase. Here's confidence. Tying your shoe. Are you confident you can tie your shoe? Team, yes or no? Why?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we've already done it.
Done it
Because
repeatedly.
you've done it
learned.
before.
Yeah, you've had
You don't-
practice, you've heard it multiple times, and now it's like second nature.
That's it. You don't walk in front of a room to teach a class and you're like nervous because there's people in front of you about tying your shoe. Let me show you how it's done. Boom. You don't freak out. You know, people say they have stage fright or whatever sometimes, but it's just because maybe you lack a little confidence in one area or another, or you're just not used to it. The experience is not there. But I'm telling you, my friends, all of this stuff, once you get the confidence of this week of just going through a couple automations and you see how freaking simple it is, you're going to be able to walk in every room and be like, yeah, of course I know what I'm talking about. And you'll start to see how full of shit most people are when they talk about AI. I'll explain that more in a minute. So with that being said, here's another question I have for you. And this might seem like a lot of mindset stuff, and it is. But first question I want you to ask here is, what is a breakthrough that you've had in the past? Because if we're looking for a new breakthrough in our life, like Vince says, a new chapter, a new version of our life, we got to break through from the old life. But you've already done this before. This is not new. This is not special. But I want you to think about a time that you progressed. Maybe it was something as simple as graduating school. Maybe it was something as getting a new job or a new career. Maybe it was something as simple as trying a new sport that you have never tried before. Like you got it and you broke through. Like you were scared, you were nervous, you were kind of worried about it, whatever. And then you got to the other side and you're like, I've got this. Can you come up with a time? Can you come up with a moment?
Yeah. For me, it was I had a job with the city here, and of course I was very young then, and it was the expectations of what you hear from your generation before you. Oh, they got retirement, they got benefits, they got this, they got that. When I went there, I was absolutely miserable. I went from the landscape field to working for the city, taking and maintaining their parks. But it was such a governed job that I literally had to leave my watch at home because I couldn't stand being there for 8 hours and it took forever. I went from the construction side where we were creating, we had timelines, so we had challenges, and then you get to the city, which is government run, and you're looking to literally look like you're doing something for 8 hours. And that was not, I learned back then that wasn't who I was or what I was. So my breakthrough was I gave 2 weeks notice, and I literally had two of my, they call them level twos, guys that were above me, my supervisors come to me and go, "This is the worst mistake you ever made. You can retire in this and you can retire with that." And I felt like, and he goes, "You'll be a level two in 2 years and you'll be topped out." And I was in my 20s and I said, "So you're telling me I'm going to be topped out in 2 years? That's it. We're done." And I guess I was pretty blessed to be able to still think at that age. Like I'm not, I didn't buy into that. And I went, you know what? I'm going to start my own business. And I have the skill set. I'll figure out how to get the equipment. I'll figure out the money, and I'm just going to run with it. And it was a breakthrough for me. I went from half the income, and you know what? You figure it out as you go along, and it's provided a really good life for my family and I, my kids, my wife. We've never done without. We've got to do a lot of things. That was a huge breakthrough for me that I can think about, and that was 30 years ago. And yeah, I've been there, and it's hard, it's challenging. You hit so many walls, and you go along that way. I only knew half the trade the way I know it now. I just learned the rest of it as I went along. And boy, did I make some mistakes, but you figure out along. When you make those mistakes, you just pick some and you put them in your bank and go, "I can't do that again." And you just say, I always put, um, like you were saying earlier, we're not tech. I always put, when I was doing this, I was like, okay, how do I design this landscape? I don't know how to do it. I don't see that. I say, I don't know how to design this landscape yet. I don't know AI yet. And I just literally just keep repeating that. Now I'm starting to go back to like, it's just been in the back of my head, like, because it's been 30 years since I started this business and I just put my head down and grinded. And now that we're starting this, so many things are starting to come from the back of my head forward that I utilized
Yes.
back then, like the yet part. I got away from that for a while because I knew my trade so well, and I have it
Yes.
running. Like like you said, it's a repeat thing. So I can walk up and problem solve in minutes what customers can't do. Like for instance, that like if there's an irrigation system and they're having a major problem with it, and they look at it as, "Oh my God, this is, what's going on here?" And I can look at it in a span of a few minutes and break it down just from experience, trial and error, and learning it and doing it repeatedly. And you just mentioned that earlier, so sorry for the long-windedness, but
No,
it's
no,
bringing
brother,
a lot
that's
of stuff
perfect.
back forward. And what's
You
cool
know,
is back then I was in my 20s and still made a lot of mistakes um, with the way to handle things. If I look back on it, I'm like, man, I wish I handled that better. I wish I was more mature. So being as old as I am, I'm approaching this with way much more calmness. And here's the most important thing: being around everybody in this group. I've learned, because one of the things is it's lonely being an entrepreneur. It's lonely owning a business. And in this small town, it was so competitive. And I even tried to get some of my competitors together and go have coffee and try to set the market, because we'll have guys come in and you're trying to bid this job at X amount of dollars, and all of a sudden they're new to it and they're bidding it at this, and they may get that job, but they're not. What the customer is going to realize is, I now I know the difference in what the price it was on that. So I try to set the market and do that, but unfortunately there was too many closed-minded people that didn't want to get together. They were still too prideful and just say, "Hey man, we're competitors, but we could still communicate, we could still get along. Let's set the market. Why are we taking away from our own plate by undercutting everybody and underbidding everybody?" And sitting in this forum and going through some of the stuff I went through, and you're like, "We're going to teach you how to price it and listen to everybody's stories here." And not only that, just being around you guys that want to get better. I didn't have that when I was coming along. So there was points in my 30 years where I was stale for a lot of years. And this is before the internet. So at least when I got on the internet, I started learning more and more and more about my business, about entrepreneurship, and just everything. Now coming to this, to me, the most important thing is having you guys and having you as a leader and having everybody else as they learn.
Beautiful.
Some of you is going to be every one of you will be way more advanced and faster than me. So I
Hey,
may
wait, hang. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Boy.
whoa.
I'm going to ask a lot of questions. What's the matter?
Time out. I hope you guys are okay with me calling you out on your language
Oh,
throughout the
absolutely.
next 90
Dude,
days.
I got thick skin. No, not at all.
Because
Oh,
Vince, you are going to
yeah.
be just as good as the rest of us.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I
Team.
know. I know. I have moments where I'll overthink or I'll say things that I don't realize. Like someone actually called me out on it recently. So if you do that for me, it's like, yeah, you have my consent for that because I want
Yeah,
to.
please.
Good. Team, let's do this last question here because Vince just teed this up perfectly. What's one limiting belief you need to change to become successful in AI? Write it down. Everybody
Oh,
write
man.
it down. Nobody gets away from this one. What's one limiting thing? I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the knowledge. I'm not good at this stuff. I don't know technology. What's the BS that we need to clear out of your mind that you feel might stop you or slow you down from success? Everybody write one down, at least one. If you got multiple, that's cool too. But what I want you to do with that one is I want you to send it to me on school. So DM it to me on school, send me the message. Here's what I think my limiting belief is. Because I want to make sure for the rest of this, Vince, obviously Vince was just kind of talking, right? He wasn't like, oh, this is my thought process, but our subconscious shows up when we just speak. And one of the challenges that, we can call Vince out on here, not just to tease and pick on him right now,
No, not at all.
you guys are going to be so much better at this than me. I know he's just being nice, but let's refrain from some of those things because Vince is just going to be just as good, if not better than us. That's where we start to go through these belief systems because when it comes down to a conversation with some of these business owners, all you need is a little bit of certainty and a little bit of confidence, and you're going to be, again, 99% ahead of everybody else. Everyone got one? Please message it to me. I want to see every one of them. Here's the last bit, and then we'll get into kind of what we got to do for today's kind of homework here. Where do you want your business to be in the next 24 months? How much money would you like to be making? And more than just a goal, give me the emotion behind it. What's the emotion? Why do you want this? Reasons come first. Answers come second. Reasons come first. Answers come second. Where do you want to be in 24 months? What excites you about that? Not just how much money you make, but what would you do with that money? How would it transform your life? Where would you live? What would you be like? How would you behave? How would you treat people? How would you treat your kids? How would you treat yourself? How would things change in your life right here, right now, if you were already making that kind of money or running that kind of business or having the spare time that you're looking for? It's not enough to just say, I want to have more time. You have to really focus on what are you going to do with that time? Because the funny thing is, when you start a business, it's like I want to start a business to have more free time. That's like saying I want to have a baby to have more free time. Right? If you do not know what to do with that free time, it will be filled. So you must focus on what do I want? And you might not have perfect answers today. That's okay. That's why this workbook exists, for you to sit down and kind of think about this even after our calls, to go back and say, what do I really want? What am I after? The short answer, everyone always says, I want to make $10,000 a month. Like, okay, cool. We can do that. But is that it? Is that all you want? There's got to be more to life than 10 grand a month, right? And I'm not talking finances here. I'm talking about everything. Bashar and I joke about this. We both really like to eat. He almost likes to eat more than I do. Like, the reason he wants to make a bunch of money, like, he's very much like me. We're both very frugal. Like we don't want stuff, but we love these experiences of going out to eat with friends and having a lovely experience. And, give me the most expensive steak. Give me the most, not even looking at the bill. That's one of my big joys in life. Let me take out the entire family, never even look at the credit card. Here it is. Order whatever the hell you want. Because I grew up very poor. I grew up in the hood. It was just my mom and I. She worked 3 jobs to support me. I was homeless multiple times throughout my life. So when I can just throw a credit card at somebody and say, yeah, charge it, whatever. What is it for you? And then here's the last one. What must happen in the next 6 to 12 months to make that vision real? What do you need to do? Do you need to get out of your comfort zone? Do you need to learn this AI stuff? Do you need to learn how to create offers? What do you need to do? Now, I know I'm going kind of quick. We can come back to these questions because I want to keep it tight today. I will stay on as long as you want, answer every question that you have. However, I want to get through the rest of this to make sure that we got this solid for the recording and for those of you guys who are here ready to do this. So listen, your story drives your strategy. If you say I'm not techie in that moment, that story inside of your head is going to translate into your business. So you have to be so careful about the stories that you're telling yourself inside of your head. We were just joking about this, but I sometimes, not always, I have a hard time reading things. I love reading. For most of my life, I've read over 2,000 books. I absolutely love it. I get a little tired of it. I'd rather do Audible these days. But when I went through the MAKE course as an example, I felt some old thoughts coming up of like, man, this is a lot. This feels like a textbook. This is a reason I hated school. I'm not good at school. I never enjoyed school. Do you hear the words coming out of my mouth? Do you understand the belief systems that creates? And here's the harder question. Was that really true? No, of course it wasn't true. It was a lie that I was telling myself. I love learning. I can't wait that's why I read 2,000 books after school was done, because I loved learning. I enjoyed it. So as I'm kind of rambling here a little bit, I want you to trigger some things in your own mind. What is the story you've been telling yourself? I can't do this. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I come from this place in the world. I come from this city. I come from this background. There's no way I could do this. And we all know, what is that BS? That is bullshit. Number 2, I want you to shift from not a techie to a strategist. And just do me a favor. This might sound a little silly. It might sound a little 5th grade, but write down, I am an AI strategist. Just write it down. Just humor me for a second. Write it down. See how it feels. Because when you start to define yourself differently, you start to behave differently. There's a dramatic difference between I haven't smoked in 6 months to I am a non-smoker. I don't have to fight cravings about smoking because I've never been a smoker. I am not that. And when you start to look at your identity, you start to see that, hey, this is a little bit different. I'm a strategist. I'm the guy who thinks through this. I'm the gal who thinks through this. I can figure it out when no one else can. When they're scrambling, they're stressed out, frustrated, I'm the one who's centered and calm because I know that there's always a strategy that can win.
I wrote it down. It feels good, but my brain knows I'm not yet. So it's a weird feeling.
You bring up a great point because this is what Tony Robbins calls, you've heard of affirmations, right? Affirmations like I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. And your brain immediately goes, bullshit, you're not happy. Are you kidding me? Who are you joking? Like, are you? But incantations was when you start to build emotion behind it and you start to put your foot in the sand and no, this is who I am. Hey, brain, shut up. I tell you what to do. You don't tell me. I'll tell you a very quick story, and I know we've got very short time left here, but I want to make sure I'm getting to everything. When I moved back from Chicago, I was homeless for 2 years. I spent the last of my food money on that book, Awaken the Giant Within. I read the book again and again and again. And one thing Tony taught me in that book was you must do incantations. And at the beginning of it, it's not going to feel good. You're going to feel stupid because your brain is going to tell you you're lying to yourself. But what you need to do is overload your previous programming to the point where when you say this enough, it becomes true. How many of you guys have ever said a lie? Especially as a kid, you told a lie and you told it so many times, like it started to become true in your brain. Anybody ever done this before?
Oh yeah.
Yes. It's the same
Yep.
freaking thing. Your brain does not know the difference between what you vividly imagine and what's real. So how about we use that to our advantage? How about we start repeating this stuff over and over again? When you say, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at this, you just stop that. You say, you know what? I'm pretty good at this. And here's a bunch of different reasons why. Now, we can break that down in another class here today, but I want to make sure that you just shift from I don't know to I'll find the answer. When you become that type of person who starts to say, oh, no, listen, I don't know all the answers, but I find them. I'm the kind of person who will find them. And when you start repeating that to your friends, to your family, when you start to say that, you start to believe it a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. All of a sudden, 6 months from now, you won't even recognize the person you've become because you've just reached this next level. Oh, yeah, I guess I used to say that. It's a problem when you say something like, I'm depressed versus I'm having a rough day. One is an identity, who I am, and I will kill you. I will kill others to make sure that I align with my identity. Most people would rather die than not be who they think they are. So our challenge here today is to understand the psychology behind, listen, let's leave the old identity behind. You are good at this stuff. You know how I know? You've done it before. Maybe not AI, but maybe volleyball. You didn't know what the hell volleyball was in the past. You picked it up, and we were clumsy at the beginning, and all of a sudden you started hitting it, and oh, hey, this is kind of fun. Basketball, baseball, badminton, soccer, football. None of us were any good with that stuff at the moment we started it. But in this moment, you became the person that just kept going. Is this making sense? Is everyone with me here on this?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I agree with you on that. Not only that, it's I go to church from time to time, and my pastor actually he talked to us about this one time. I put it in the chat. It's dead words, because when you speak certain things about yourself, especially when negative, it's essentially poison. It kills it mentally speaking. It can kill you, your ambition, your drive, who you are as a person, and your identity. But because again, going back to what you said, the mind doesn't know the difference between what's negative and what's positive. It's just what we
Yes.
feed it is what it takes in.
And it may seem a little silly to start an AI course with this mindset thing, but I'm telling you, this is the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Because the truth is, we're all coming into a brand new market. Can I tell you the truth? Nobody knows shit about AI. The people who built AI don't know what it is. So relieve yourself of the stress of having to know everything, because you just don't. Does this make sense? Are you with me on this?
Yep.
Mhm.
Listen to an interview with Sam Altman. Listen to an interview with Elon Musk. Listen to an interview with Zuckerberg. And you start to understand that, wait a second, they don't really know what they've built here, do they? These are these geniuses who have supposedly figured this out, and they built something they don't even understand. So before you go on like, oh, I need to be smarter, like Barack said, everything has to be perfect before I get started. Like, it's just not true. It's not true. My friends, I'm an idiot and I figured it out. So let's just do this together, hey? So with that being said, we'll do this exercise in a little bit here, but here's what I would like you to do in school today. Let's get through our homework, and then as many questions as you guys got here today, I'm going to give you all the answers, okay? So in school, what I'd like you to do is just kind of write down, here's why I'm here, but here's my new identity. And I'd like you to do me a favor, do yourself a favor, and actually think through it a little bit. Don't just post the first thing that comes to mind, but really think about, who do you want to be? Even if you're not that today, who would you like to be? Do you really want to be an entrepreneur? Do you really want to be a business owner? Do you want to be free? I mean, freedom was always my biggest key word, right? I want freedom. I want to be able to go where I want, do what I want with whomever I want, as much as I want. You know, my mom was broke and poor. She supported us. I want to buy her whatever she wants. Anything that she wants, I want to be able to buy her that. You know, I took the whole family a couple of years ago. I took the whole family to Christmas, right? We did a whole thing in Mexico. I took the entire family. Surprise, surprise. My family got really big when I said I was paying for everybody. There was a lot of extra people that showed up, and ended up being what, I think 48 people. It was like, $60,000, $70,000 to pay for all these people to go on Christmas vacation for a full week. And I was like, oh my God, this is one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my life. I never thought growing up the way I grew up and being homeless multiple times, I'd ever be able to just put down the credit card and say, charge it. I've got it. Not a problem. Whatever you guys want. Let's go. And that was one of the greatest experiences of my life. So when we write down like why do I want this? What do I want? I don't want the Lamborghini. I don't even fit in a freaking Lamborghini. I'm 6'1". Maseratis, like it doesn't feel good. I want like a Kia. Like I don't give a shit, right? I don't want a mansion. It's just more crap to clean. Like Bashar and I are so similar in that, right? We want these small apartments that are easy to clean, easy to keep nice. But like I'm telling you guys, you got to figure out what your why is. And I'm not saying you have to take mine or Bashar's or anybody else's, but do yourself the favor to write down what do you really want. And I and Bashar and everyone else on this team is going to help you get it. I promise you that. Everyone cool? Yes?
Where
let's
can
do our
I
homework.
find, I couldn't find, where am I gonna find my, I tried last night and, do I go to class, do I go to, classroom?
In the classroom, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I'll walk you through it in just a second here.
'Cause
I'll show you school too.
I couldn't get to my work, my worksheets or anything yesterday.
Yeah, and
Is
that's
it a
okay.
link?
We don't stress too much. I'll give you the workbooks in PDF form. And then I think, do you guys like how it's set up right now? Because I can set up like a fillable PDF too. If you guys don't have one of those, you can type it in, or you can just do a Google Doc, right? Where you have your own kind of journal, if you'd like to do that. This is going to sound a little corny, but I'd like you guys to kind of figure out what you enjoy to do, right? When you look at a workbook like this or whatever, what is the technology you like to use? Because now you have even more confidence to say, well, I like to use Evernote. I like to use Google Notes. I like to use this or that or whatever, and just play with things. But I'll walk through it in a second, Vince. I won't leave you hanging.
Okay.
Don't worry.
All right.
So here's what we need to get our first dollar. One, you should have a clean Gmail. So even if you don't have like a business domain or anything, you don't need any of that crap. Anybody who tells you you need a website and everything, a website these days is like a business card. You just don't freaking need it to do business, right? You can look at my website. Anybody want to has anybody saw my website, thescaleandsuccess.com? Anybody
I've
went
been
there?
on your Instagram, but that was about it.
You saw Instagram? Casey, what'd you think? It's pretty, isn't it?
Very pretty, actually.
Very
I like
pretty.
the orange hue.
Yeah, it's kind of neat, right? Anybody want to take a wild guess how many customers I've gotten from it? Raleigh's got a 0. But you know, all my customers are either outreach or referrals. So like I said, I think we'll do 64 this month, 64K, which like sounds maybe impressive if you're just getting started. It's not that impressive once you get into this and you're like, oh wow, there's people doing much bigger numbers. And you can too, if you wanted to. But I'm telling you, the way I'm going to show you business and like how to do real business in the trenches, you don't need a fancy website. You don't need fancy domains. You don't need any fancy crap. What I'd like you to have though is a clean Gmail. So like if it's going to be like BlancaAI@gmail.com, cool. That's easy to remember. It's easy to type. You know, Nate does AI@gmail.com. Like that's cool. Like nothing wrong with that. So just come up with something. I don't really care what it is. And don't overthink this. We can always change it later. It's not a big deal, but come up with something. Everyone got something just off the top of your head? You can overthink it later, but just create something, okay? Number 2, does everyone know how to use Google Drive?
No.
Maybe a silly question, but you just Google Drive, and there's a little folder, and you create a folder. And what I like you to do is just have 3 folders. One for your lead stuff, just so you kind of have that organized. Number 2 for client projects. And number 3 for systems and docs. Like we'll have your templates all in one place. We'll have like step-by-step documents and all that jazz. So if you ever get stuck or you ever get anything, here's the secret to this business is you build something once, you record it, and then you just keep going back to that thing. Like, okay, am I doing the checklist? Am I doing the checklist? And guys, that's how I run this too, right? Because sometimes you might miss something, you might capture, whatever it is, you just want to make sure you have it all there. I'm going to give you all the templates that you need. And if there's something we don't have, I will personally build it for you and we'll do it together if you want to do that. Like that's how we're going to run this. But I just want you to stay organized from day one. Is that cool?
Absolutely.
I have a little daily activity tracker for you. Just an Excel spreadsheet. I'll drop that link as soon as we get off of this call. I'll drop it in the school group. It's just an Excel spreadsheet. It's nothing fancy. Give you a quick little story about this. When I started at Tony Robbins, it did not start very well because I applied and interviewed to be a speaker for like 6 months. And Tony's brother-in-law hates my guts. For whatever reason, he just doesn't like me. I like him. I think he's cool, but he just did not like me. You can never be a speaker here. I'll never let you do that. You're never going to do it. Click, hangs up on me. After 6 months of interviewing, right? And I'm like, dude, really? Like, are you kidding me? One of the other guys in the other side of the division, and his name is Brooke, amazing, incredible guy. He said, hey, you're serious about this. You're dedicated, right? Yeah. Okay. Come join my team in the cold calling division. So if you can imagine, here I am. I want to be a Tony Robbins speaker. And he's like, all right, you're going to do cold calling all day long. I'm like, oh my God, shoot me. But at the same time, I was like, okay, if I need to do this to prove myself, I will, whatever it takes. And I got started and I was making like 200 calls a day. And everyone was telling me, go to hell. You're stupid. I don't even know who Tim Robbins is. Like, just getting hung up on left and right. And man, I struggled. It was a rough time in my life. And I'm like, I don't need this bullshit. I've built 3 multi-million-dollar businesses. This is stupid. I almost quit. I almost gave up multiple times. But then Brooke told me something. He's like, listen, all you got to do is take the emotion out of it. Because the truth is, you're going to reach out to people. Some people are going to tell you to go to hell. Some people are not going to pick up the phone, whatever. And what he told me to do actually was something really basic. He said, grab a sheet of paper or grab a Post-it note. And all I want you to do is at the top, I want you to write down calls. And you're just going to make a hashtag. For every call you make, just write a hashtag. And then the next line, I want you to write pickups. How many people pick up the phone? And just every time they pick up the phone, you hash that. And then number 3, I want you to say quality conversations, because not every conversation is quality, right? And then from there, you want to go meetings booked. And number 5, referrals generated. And that's very similar to the Excel spreadsheet that I made for you. Not that you're going to do a bunch of cold calling. I'm going to show you a whole bunch of different ways to get clients. But really what I want you to do to start with is just how many outreaches, friends, family, acquaintances, business owners. And when we start talking next about the Dream 25, and maybe Bashar, you can spend a couple minutes just on because Bashar is really good at this, but it's like the idea of the closest people your Dream 25 contacts. And I'll tell you the whole story another day, but really it's who do you know that knows somebody? So what we don't want to do is just start reaching out to all our friends and family. Do you want to buy shit from me? Like, because that never goes well. But everyone wants to support you. They just don't want to pay you, right? So if we go with that mindset, we say, hey, Johnny, I just started this AI thing and I've been learning all these automations and learning how to help businesses with this. I'm just curious, do you know any business owners who they're way too busy? And if that's the conversation you have with them, it's pretty simple where he's like, yeah, actually, my brother-in-law, he has a little auto shop. And you don't even want the phone number. You don't want an introduction. You just want to write them down. Like, okay, cool. I've got, Tim, who's an auto shop owner. And I can come back to that later. So the Dream 25, the idea is now you just want to start reaching out to people and just start the conversation. No selling, 0 selling. We're not allowed to sell today or tomorrow or this week. We just want to start building a database of who do we know who knows somebody. And Bashar, maybe, I don't know if you want to chime in here, but this might be kind of a good time to just kind of go over how do you actually start to brainstorm these people and where do they come from? Especially friends, family, acquaintances, that kind of jazz.
Yeah, absolutely. First, I just want to do a temp check. How is everyone feeling so far? I know we've been going at it for about an hour now, and we've shared a lot of things. How are you guys feeling? Drop in the chat for me. What are the emotions that you guys are feeling right now? How are you feeling? Excited? Nervous? What's going on through your head? I just want to kind of, okay, excited, nervous. Okay, good. Very excited. Okay, awesome, very good. So here's the thing, guys. Whatever you're feeling right now, just know throughout this journey, it'll go up and down, right? We've said this a few times. And just know that you are human. right? You are allowed to feel all kinds of things. Right now, you are maybe excited. I'm seeing a lot of excited. Some of you guys a little nervous. That's okay. Right now, you might be feeling very excited. It's day one. You're again, you've been waiting for this. You got started just a few days ago. You were on a webinar. You're pumped, all that stuff. But just know as you go through the journey, you will feel a little nervous, a little scared, a little doubtful, all that stuff. That is absolutely normal. Okay. I always say the thing that I always say is, firefighters, when there is a fire, everyone runs away from the fire. Firefighters run towards the fire because they know that is where the quote unquote opportunity or their job is. That's where they need to go, right? So the same thing here with you. If you feel nervous when you are about to make a decision, I always say that is the right decision to make, because if your goals or your decisions are not scaring you, they're not kind of making you uncomfortable a little bit, then they're just not big enough, or maybe they're not even the right decisions or the right goals to be setting, right? And so right now, if you are a little bit feeling nervous, or as you go through the journey, you feel a little nervous, that is completely okay. Steve is here. I am here. We're all here for you. Now, something that I want to share with you guys here today is, and you can unshare. Yeah, there we go. This is, I don't have fancy slides like Steven does. I mean, he did a great job at this, didn't he? I was looking at his slides and I'm like, man, this looks awesome, right? This is something that I learned a few months, actually, probably about a year ago now. And what I realized, and what all of us realize, there's a saying, your network is your net worth. Oftentimes, what we don't realize is we actually have a lot of goodwill out there in the world, and we have a lot of what's the word that I'm looking for? A lot of opportunity available for us that we don't even realize. Like when I think back 10 years ago, when I started my first online business, I was $150,000 in debt. I had no track record. I had nothing. And I realized that if I rely on my two jobs to start finally get out of debt and start a business, it would take me 15 years just to clear debt. And that's when I learned about the concept of OPM. And I was like, well, hang on a second. No one's going to give me money. Like, who do I know that's got $10,000 that's going to give me? And believe it or not, but the person that gave me money was the second closest person to me, which was my girlfriend's mom at the time, now my mother-in-law. But it only took me to ask. And if I didn't ask, I wouldn't know. So the same thing here. You're starting a brand new business, right? Remember, I don't know how many of you here, just by the show of hands, were on yesterday's webinar, the Sunday webinar that we did yesterday. So if you were there, I shared 4 buckets of how you can attract clients and find clients into your business. And one of those buckets was friends and family. You guys remember that? So that's essentially what we're going to be focusing on right now. Okay. So again, I don't have any fancy slides like Steven does, and maybe I should have. But what I do have is this kind of list of what Steven likes to call it Dream 25. You've heard of like the Dream 100. It's like, hey, when you're starting a brand new business or a brand new venture or whatever, it's like make the top, list of top 100 people that you want to maybe get coaching by or reach out to or partner with or whatever. Well, we're going to start with 25. We can even start with 5. Okay? But I have it broken down, and I want you guys to write this down. I have it broken down into 2 buckets. Bucket number 1 is current network, and bucket number 2 is past network. Okay? So these are what we like to call memory joggers. Okay? So I'm going to say things, write them down, and then as you read these things, they should trigger names in your mind of either number 1, potential clients for your business, or someone that you can find a client through them, right? And Steve is going to be sharing with us how to approach these people and all that stuff. Remember, we're not reaching out yet. We're just making a list. That's all we're doing. We're not reaching out. We're not telling anyone anything. We're just making a list, and then later we will, reach out to them, and then we'll teach you guys what to say, when to say, all that stuff. Right now, we're just kind of building a list. So current network. First thing is, simplest is your contact list. That's where I always start. My contact list. I literally just grab my phone and I go to my contacts and then I just scroll through all of them. Okay. Now I only have, let's see, how many contacts do I have? I only have 403 contacts, so that makes it a little bit easier, but they're very highly high quality contacts, right? And I have a personal connection with every single one of them. So that's the very first place. And think through the mindset they should be thinking. Either this is a business owner that could potentially use my help, or this is someone that knows a business owner that could potentially use my help, right? So that's the first place. How many here can find in their contacts at least about 3 to 5 potential clients? Yeah? Okay. Well, I know I can find, man, dozens in my contact list. Okay. So that's the first place. Second place, entrepreneurial friends and family members. So this is your cousin, your brother-in-law, your sister-in-law. Again, they don't need to be entrepreneurs themselves and own their own business, but maybe in a conversation during, Thanksgiving last year or Christmas or whatever, a family gathering, they were talking about how they have a network of entrepreneurs. They work in a company that an entrepreneur owns. Like I was talking to my cousin 3 days ago, and he was telling me how they struggle with emails. And how, remember, those of you that were on the webinar yesterday, just answering emails cost them $72,000 a year. Well, guess what? That's a potential client. I can easily charge them $3,000 to $5,000 for setting up an email automation thing, which all of you guys should have in your inbox. We sent it out, I think, last night or this morning, and it's also part of the program, obviously. But you all have that set up already, right? So entrepreneurial friends and family. Number 3, local businesses you frequent in your area. People that your dry cleaners, the electrician, the plumber that fixes your stuff, the guy that comes and cleans the pool, the auto repair shop, the people that do oil changes on your car, the people that change your tires. So local businesses that you frequent. Okay. Number 4, service providers that you use. Again, very similar to the first one. So local business you frequent, and then also service providers you use. Your CPA, your attorney. Okay. Entrepreneurial coworkers who may know any business owners, right? So someone who is an entrepreneur or looking to become an entrepreneur that maybe is getting coached by somebody. I know, for me, I have so many people that I kind of, I don't want to say coach, but kind of like give advice to, they're either relatives or they're like, kids of relatives or whatever. They could easily reach out to me and offer their services to me, right? People like that. Another one is social media entrepreneurial friends. You all have social media, right? You've got a Facebook page, an Instagram page, or whatever. You have friends that have posted about their businesses in the past. Hey, I do this thing, I do that thing, I do this other. Hey, come to my restaurant, come check out my thing. Again, we're not doing anything right now. We are just writing down these names. So write down the buckets, and then as you go throughout the day today, every single line you go, like, all right, who do I remember here? Mary, Justin, this person, that person, James, right? And then just write down their names. So that's current network. Past network. So that's the second bucket, past network. These are people that you worked with in the past, your previous jobs, previous careers, previous businesses, that you believe either number 1, maybe have gone on to start their own businesses, or potentially can be, they have a decent network of potential business owners that could work for your business. That could be, good clients for your business. Previous employers. How many here have had jobs prior to the job that you're in or the business you're in? Well, guess what? All of those are businesses that could potentially use your services. Hopefully you left on good terms. Well, and if you did, you can pick up the phone and say, "What's up, man? What's happening?" Right? And if you didn't, it's totally cool. Might be a chance to reignite that relationship again, right? People you went to school with. I mean, I would think back, how many here still are in touch with their high school friends, college friends? Have some of them gone on to start their own businesses? Do some of them have networks of other potential entrepreneurs that could be potential clients? So again, these are what we like to call memory joggers. Current network, past network. And you're just writing them down. And then as you go through every line, you're like, oh, okay, I know this person here. I know that person. I mean, honestly, for majority of you, I'm pretty sure you will find at least half a dozen to a dozen through just going through your phone. I know I would easily find 50, easily find 50 in my phone right now for something like this. That could use, I mean, probably way more than that. Way more than that. I'd be hitting up Steve, you know? Does that help? Okay.
I think that's great. Because everyone feels pretty good with that, right?
Absolutely. Like I'm thinking of like a few people that I know, and then just go through the list like you were saying, Bashar, just like see who else I can find.
Yes.
I think for me, for what I've been doing the last 30 years, I've bonded with literally the 12 businesses you have that we looked at. I probably have 4 or 5 friends in each one of those. Just we always cross on the jobs between pest control, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, lawyers. I do a lot of work for a lot of lawyers, doctors, dentists, all their offices, and then also just for the last 30 years being on the job. If we're doing a landscape, and it's a new landscape, we're around electricians, plumbers, and then if we do residentials, we're around pest control, and I bonded friendships with them probably over the last 30 years. So my phone is actually was kind of nice when you brought that up, Bashar, because my phone's filled with same as you. I can go through and it makes me super excited. But my question is, we're just going to make this list. At what point, and I'm getting ahead of myself probably here, do we want to start saying something? Because I want to know that I'm saying the right things to them.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of cool things for you. Before you reach out to these people, let's have a conversation, right?
Yes.
Because
Yeah, I don't
number
want to do
one,
that.
we
Yes.
want to really focus on business problems. We don't want to just me. I started a business. I'm doing AI. I'm going to give me money. Like we want to refrain from any of that. So before we have outreaches, we're going to have a conversation. Number two, in school, if you look at the classroom and you look at day one, if you scroll to the bottom, there's 3 things. So go into school, go to the AI certification program, click classroom. Actually, I'm not sharing my screen, am I? Like a dummy. Let me share my screen. Okay, everyone can see, yeah? Okay, so I go to AI certification, I go to the classroom, and I'm on week 1. By the way, I put this one here. If you're looking for something, like you don't know where it is, it's probably in here. So like every file and every like login and all that stuff, I'm going to keep dropping stuff inside of here. Okay. As we go on. But week 1, day 1, shift your identity. You scroll to the bottom. I got 3 things. The workbook for this week. Number 2, there's the Dream 25 outreach plan, which what I put together was here's exactly what to say to people. Here's different ways you can say it. Here's all this stuff. But don't do this yet.
No.
This is just a resource to look at. I'm just giving you a sneak peek of this stuff. Okay. Because there's a different way to sell your friends and family. And you don't sell your friends and family, you sell people that they know. Right. Because the biggest thing is like everyone wants to be let off the hook. Like, oh, I don't want to buy that. Have you had friends that reached out from like high school, whatever, that started in Herbalife or like isogenics, and they're selling, leggings or whatever they're selling in the moment, and you're like, oh God, get away from me,
Yeah.
right? It's not that it's a bad product, it's not that it's a bad business. It's just like a creepy way to approach the sale. And so, sales is so simple. You just have to learn how to be normal. That's probably the most biggest golden nugget you'll ever learn about sales. If you could just be normal, sales is really easy. Okay. So there's 1 and 2. And then there's the little outreach tracker here. And again, it's so simple. It's just like, how many people did I reach out to? How many quality conversations? Did I book any meetings? My friends, if I can give you 1 word of advice, and we're not even doing this yet, but before we get started, we are never going to track what we call lagging indicators. There are leading indicators and there are lagging indicators. The reason people aren't successful in most businesses is they focus so heavily on the results instead of the activity. So imagine if every day I weigh myself, but I'm not tracking how I go to the gym. I'm not tracking my exercises. I'm not tracking what I'm doing. I'm not tracking any of that, but I track my weight every day. Whichever one you focus on is going to expand. So if you're not tracking your exercises, your weight's going to go up because you're tracking your weight. There it is. But if you're tracking your leading indicators, how many exercises, how many outreaches, how many this, that's what we're focused on. Okay. Because like I said, when I was doing cold calls and I'm hashing down all this stuff, I can look back at the day and I can say it was successful. Even if I didn't book a meeting, I can say, look how many activities I did. Now I know that if I keep doing these activities, I'm going to be successful. Does that make sense? Are you with me on that? Okay, cool. Anyways, so with that being said, here's our last little bit for the day, and I'll hang on and answer questions. If you look at the slides, I've put the slides in there as well, or if they're not in there now, they will be in just a minute. The jump start I was talking about, if you've not created your Make account, I highly suggest you get in there and just get started. Just feel it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to do everything, but just to get started in there, because most of the templates that we'll install will probably use Make. There are other places that we can use N8N and Zapier and stuff, but you just get in there and start playing around. Don't be scared because you love technology and technology loves you too. Am I right? Just for the hell of it. Say it again, please. I love technology and technology loves me.
I love
I
technology.
love technology.
I love technology.
I love technology and technology loves me.
Damn straight. Right? So anyways, at some point during this month, when you're ready for it, we'll do a little professional upgrade of your like Gmail and we'll have a special domain for you and all that good stuff. But don't worry about that now. We're just like a simple Gmail is so easy and everyone can use it. Okay. I do have a couple random thoughts I want to share with you. And how many of you guys have questions for today? Just give me a hand up if you've got a question or two that we can do some Q&A. Okay. All right, cool. Just making sure. Okay. So random thoughts, we're going to sell futures, not features. And I'll tell you this entire process. Can I give you one more secret? Most of the automations that we are selling right now don't even have AI in them. Is that crazy or what? What? Did I just blow your mind? Oh my God. You know why? Because sometimes AI hallucinates. Sometimes it breaks. Sometimes it's tough. And sometimes it's a hell of a lot easier to just create a thing that connects to a thing and it's done. And you can charge a couple $1,000 for it and it's never going to break. It's always going to be there. It's always reliable and you don't have to worry about it. So we'll talk about that later. There are only 3 problems that business owners have. And these are the 3 problems that we're trying to solve with this. Number 1, they don't have enough customers. Number 2, they don't have enough consistent customers. Number 3, they're disorganized and stressed. And everything that I'm going to teach you in this, everything that Bashar is going to work with you on throughout this entire process is just helping them with these 3 things. And you know what the most money valuable thing is for every business owner? Solve one of these 3 problems. And we're going to show you how to automate it. Cool? Next random thought is most business owners want to do nothing extra and get more money. Anybody want to be able to do that?
Yeah.
If I just literally do nothing to make more money, cool. It's the best sales pitch we can ever have in our entire lives. Hey, I'm just going to help you get more money and you don't have to do anything. Is that cool? Yeah, of course. That's what we're selling. Okay. Most people don't want to learn anything new. They don't want just another thing to do, right? They don't want to train anybody, and they don't want 900 features of things that they have to log into and do all that sort of stuff. So that's why I keep saying that everything that we're going to be selling, quote unquote, or helping install really is a better way to say this, is just going to be so simple for them, and it's just going to help them fix one problem. And then we can work on the next problem and the next problem. Here's something I've been building over the last couple of weeks, and I'm going to give this to you guys. One of the best places we have for immediate customers for this month is Bashar. He's got over 6,000 Amazon students. Do you think there's an automation or two that we can build for these people that they would be willing to pay us for? Lorraine, what's one problem you have all day, every day in your Amazon business?
Tracking the finances.
What's another one?
In my business, I need to be consistent with the finances, PPC, good gracious, tracking the keyword and PPC and ad spend.
Ooh. How about reviews?
Where's the waste?
Where's the waste? That's a good one. How about reviews? Would it be nice if we can automate all your reviews?
We can do it because I'm one of them.
Yeah, I believe Helium-10
From
does
this
that
book.
for us.
Helium-10 does pretty good, right?
Hmm.
But there's a
But-
couple other options as well. We can build systems.
Yeah.
So I built earlier this morning, actually, I built a system that will automate your reviews, that it will track Amazon sale, that when it arrives, it will ping Amazon to send them the review request. Because the Amazon request never gets like thrown into spam or anything. It always shows up, and Amazon hits you on both the notifications and in your email. And most sellers don't have an automated response for like, hey, when they get the product, ask them for a review. So I built that this morning. I'm still testing it. I'll give it to you later this week, but I want to make sure it works like without ever breaking. So when I give that to you guys, I mean, would any of these Amazon sellers be willing to give you $100 for that, guys?
I'm thinking of TOS.
Yeah, but that's the best part is because it comes from Amazon, it doesn't violate their TOS. It's actually on their terms of service.
Yeah, then definitely.
wanna do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we all need it.
So, like, guys,
So badly.
Are you seeing the conversation? It's really just like, what are your problems? Could we help Lorraine with her watching her spreadsheets and making sure that the spreadsheets get updated automatically? You guys, even just the little you know about AI and automation right now, could we do that, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Of course we freaking could, right? Number two, hey, I got to track my keywords. Which ones are working? Could we build a little tracker for her that just does that? And again, just a little you know with AI, do you think it's possible? Yes or no?
I believe so. I mean,
Yeah.
we have to pull reports, but we have to dig into things. But if it's more specific and I
Right.
can see without having to open up every campaign and dig in and then filter everything and it's all laid out for me instead of doing everything manually, freaking A.
So again,
One
here's what I want to stress, my friends. All we're doing is looking for problems that they do a repeated task over and over and over again that we can just automate for them and charge them a little money for.
Hmm.
Lorraine, how many times do you check those numbers? Do you check them once a week, once a day?
I have my
18
data.
times a day?
I
check
have a little
once a day.
OCD going on.
Once a day? So
Every night.
I say this because I want you to start thinking this way, right? I don't want you to think AI and magical robots and stuff like this. I just want you to think, what's a problem that they do every single day that they just wish somebody else would do for them? And we can do that. So,
And quick question about it. I'm sorry.
yeah, no problem.
Even if we involve AI in it, so we have to be on top of it. I mean, we gotta check how often. Let's say we build up for reviews, PPC campaign for everything in Amazon. What's little challenging? I mean, do we have to check on it how often? Or just AI will do everything for us and gives us a result?
Yeah, yes and no. You're getting a little ahead of us yet, but you're asking the right questions. So we would build it in a way, if we wanted to do something custom like that. And my friends, one thing that we want to be careful of is not to build custom jobs for every single person you talk to, because the more custom work you do, the more you need to pay attention to it, the more you need to make sure it doesn't break. But here's the benefit of that. You can charge them monthly for those kinds of things, right? So if Ina decides that, yeah, this is really cool, build this for me. And then next month you build it, it's all done, it's ready. And she's like, yeah, I'll pay you $500 a month or whatever to watch it. And then she decides, hey, by the way, I wanted to do this also. And you're like, okay, that's cool. I'll add this module, I'll add this thing. And then, okay, cool. So there's a lot of ways we can take this. I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole right now, but Ina, to answer your question, point blank, yeah, you can do that. And you can make it report any way you want it to. And you can have it email you, oh my God, here's a warning. Like this one isn't going well. Keep an eye on this or whatever, all that good stuff. So yes.
Okay, thank you.
Tomorrow, we're going to really focus on the lead buckets. We're going to focus on how do you start getting those first initial clients? Because even before we build stuff, we should start having conversations with what do they actually want? We don't want to just build crap that nobody wants, right? So we'll start with conversations and start with who we're after and do that. That's the last of the presentation. Again, I'll answer as many questions as you guys want, but do me a favor if you don't mind. You can say them out loud, but I'd really like you to do it in the chat too, so I can copy and paste these into a FAQ document. So do me a favor, write down your question and feel free to say it out loud, but take a wild guess what I'm going to do at the end of these 30 days. I'm going to take every one of your questions and I'm going to create a specialized chatbot, just like Bashar has for Amazon, and it will constantly be your AI companion, right? So help me build that by writing the question down too. And tell me, what exactly is the homework? Number 1, make a Gmail. Number 2, create 3 Google folders. Number 3, open up this Excel spreadsheet just to peek at it. Number 4, if you can write down 5 names, cool. Or you probably already wrote down like 20 names. I mean, how many of you guys wrote down more than 5 already? Just like random people that you were thinking of. Yeah, Lorraine, yep. Brock, yeah. So I tried to make this as simple as humanly possible. Like, even if you just want to do the bare minimum, just jot down 5 names. It could be fake names for all I care. Just jot them down. Get momentum, right? And I put down here, send your first message, but I would say don't do this one yet. Okay. Let me strike that out. Boom. So make a Gmail, make your folders, open up the Excel spreadsheet, save a copy of it so you have your own, right? Do you guys all know how to do that? I mean, you just open this up and you say file, make a copy.
Hey, you said create the files, 3 files. I got as far as leads. I was writing as fast as I could.
Oh, I'm
What
sorry.
were the other 2?
Leads and pipeline, client projects, systems and docs.
Leads and clients. Oh, that was pipeline.
Leads and pipeline.
Yeah.
Client projects, systems and docs.
Don't we have this information somewhere?
You do.
Okay, so we can.
It's in the workbook. In the workbook, it follows
Okay.
the slides.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
And you also said something about writing to you, sending you a DM in school.
Yes, send me a DM. This is just a side note. Send me a DM about what's one limiting belief you got to get rid of to be successful.
Yep.
That was just a side note. That's unofficial homework. Okay, hit me with questions. We've already been 190 minutes. Each day, we're going to try to be under an hour, and I want to get us down to like 30, 45 minutes to make sure that we're not spending all day. Because the truth is, like, you just kind of learn the thing, do the next step, and we're done. I don't want you guys spending 8 hours a day on this. This is a business that you should be able to run with like 1 or 2 hours a day.
Where can I still can't find the workbook. Where it's I'm in my community now. You want me to go to classroom?
Yep. Click on classroom.
Okay.
Click on week 1.
Okay.
And it should start on day 1 right away. And you scroll all the way to the bottom and it says AI Business Strategist week 1.
No. I have shift your identity, the 4 lead buckets, build your lead engine, your daily pipeline, build automations, and week 1 Q&A.
I've got it on mine.
Yeah, so click this here. Are you seeing on my screen right now?
Shift your identity.
Yep, click that.
And then scroll down.
And then scroll all the way to the bottom and the resources. It's a weird thing about school,
Okay.
right? So the Dream 25, the outreach plan is here, the outreach tracker, and AI Business Strategist week 1.
Quick question. The tracker itself, so under resources, I just see the week 1 strategist and then the outreach plan. I see here on your screen, it says outreach tracker, but on mine, it doesn't have that.
Oh, did I not save it?
I mean, this is super simple anyway, the tracker, but I don't know if anybody else is in the same bucket.
I'll drop it in the chat too. Boom.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, you look at it, I mean, you see what it is. It's nothing fancy. I do have a really fancy CRM that I'm going to give you guys towards the end of the month, but we don't need any of that right now. Cool. What other questions we got?
Okay, the Google Drive, it should be with the new Gmail, I assume.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay.
You know, do it how you want to do it because it's not the end of the world if things get mixed up or whatever. As long as you know where everything is, that's all I care about.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
I understand that the possibilities of AI are pretty endless, and within that pretty much concept and thought process, does every single business kind of fit the scope, or is there like bread and butter businesses that are like more accurate to reach out for this kind of opportunity or something to keep an eye out for more than
Right.
another?
That's a really good question. So, because we're trying to automate repetitive tasks, you're looking for businesses who have those repetitive tasks. So, I'll give you an example. One agent that I've built for you guys, and it is actually an agent, there is actually AI and voice and everything, is a voice receptionist. So when someone calls, it picks up the phone and it's like, hello, welcome to so and so landscaping or whatever. How can I help you? And you can say something. Oh, I want to talk to Vince. Oh, I want to. I'm looking for a quote, whatever. And it will look at a list of frequently asked questions and it will answer them.
Okay.
If it doesn't have the answer, it'll go to ChatGPT and make up a good answer and say it out loud. And it does it within a second. Like it's really good. But now here's the problem. That's kind of an expensive build for someone who's just getting started. If they don't have if they've got like 2 phone calls a week, it's kind of dumb to sell it to them, But I just talked to a guy yesterday. They built out a voice agent because we're going back and forth kind of brainstorming. They built out a voice agent in Europe and they're doing 6,000 calls a day. Like that's a project you can charge multi-million dollars for, right? So Bashar is another good example. He gets a lot of emails, he gets a lot of DMs. He can't even keep up with them. So he would be a good guy to go after and be like, well, like, hey, do you want me to automate your emails or at least just handle the frequently asked questions? Don't all go harass Bashar after this call, but like as an example, he's someone that's there. Did you get the 22 local businesses? That worksheet?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's on the classroom links and everything.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to look for it for sure.
Yeah. So if you guys go back into the classroom, again, there's a whole thing here that says looking for something. It's probably here. If you click on this, you can see worksheets, workbooks. And inside this one of our buckets is going to be like local businesses. And what I put down on each one of these is like, how do people buy this service? And like, what's their problem? So again, here in the US, especially, we have a massive problem with businesses not answering the phone or answering customer service or even picking up at all. And sometimes it's just they're too busy. So like they are prime to go after them. Now, you have to know how to talk to them because especially if you're not like it's not going to be so easy to have a conversation with some redneck guy in Alabama who repairs garage doors. You need to speak his language. So I will teach you that. I promise you that. But California speaks way differently than Texas. Texas speaks way differently than New York, right? And so you have to kind of know how these work. I'm not going to tell you you have to fit into one box, but I'm going to tell you one smart thing to do is go after 1 or 2 types of businesses so you master that language before you move on to another one. Because if today you were like, say you were making calls today, you're reaching out to people today, and you call one HVAC company and one roofing company and one plumber, like you'll never get down the language that they speak and it will never go well for you, if that makes sense.
Total sense. Thank you so much. Hit the nail on the head. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Anybody else? Give me a handful more and we'll call it a day.
Because of what I do for a living, would it be smart because I know the language already to put down landscaper as one?
Hell yes.
Okay. Because I'm undecided because I do know a lot of people throughout just locally, but then, like you were saying, I don't know their languages even locally when it comes to their specific business, but this niche,
You know
I'm
what
very
problems
comfortable.
they have, and that's what you can speak to.
Okay.
Now, please hear me, everyone, please hear me on this. AI still scares the shit out of people.
Yeah.
So if you start talking about AI, they're going to run away from you.
Yeah.
So what you want to talk about is simple things like, hey, do you get too many emails? Who do you pay to answer your emails? Oh yeah, we got the receptionist. Well, I just built this thing. I can automate your emails. That like all those stupid questions you get, that you don't want to do that, you don't want to answer. I've got a little robot that can answer all those questions exactly the way you want them to. You want me to show you? Like that's how you have the conversation. Not, I'm going to tell you guys, like, don't even mention AI because it terrifies people. But Vince, even in your business, think about back in the day, like, whether it was too many phone calls or emails or
Yes.
invoicing is a beautiful
Oh my
one. I've got
gosh.
an
Yeah.
invoicing bot that I'll give you guys
Yeah.
that will just like automatically send invoices out for you. Like
That's incredible because I still use QuickBooks,
yeah.
which when I first started my business, we were like printing out and then hand filling in. And then QuickBooks came along and it was a game changer because it was a click of a mouse.
Yeah. Are you guys hearing that, by the way? Oh, I froze, didn't I?
It's like if it's the last Monday of the month, I invoice all my Monday clients, they go out and then so forth. But I have the ability to invoice at a fraction of that time would be incredible. That's something where being a
Automatically.
landscaper and talking to other landscaping businesses, even on a bigger level, a wider area than just, well, for instance, just California alone, it's huge here, landscaping, because you're a year-round business here. You don't get snow, and it's, you get rain maybe 30 about 3 months out of the year, some areas. So you're working, it's a year-round business. You're not shutting down and going to the snow plows 6 months out of the year, or anything like that. And when it does rain, it's not torrential here, so you work in it. And so the California alone is, I feel really comfortable. I could speak to California, like you were saying, that in-state language.
Perfect.
And there's just in the Sacramento, I'm 45 minutes away from Sacramento, and I'm 90 minutes away from the Bay Area, which is enormous for landscaping, because then you're getting into some of the bigger tickets where they're taking care of Silicon Valley, and those areas down there have enormous landscapes, and it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
They want their buildings, their apartment buildings in that area and offices to look meticulous and they're $1 billion businesses with $1 million landscapes. And I'm sure the businesses down there answering emails and invoicing and all that, they're probably doing the same thing I'm doing, QuickBooks
That's
and whatnot,
fantastic.
So I feel comfortable if when the time comes, like you were saying later down the road, when the time comes, I feel comfortable getting on talking on that particular subject because
By the end of this week, you'll be ready to rock.
yeah.
Guys, I know we're way over time. If you got a jet, cool, not a problem. I'll stay and hang out for as long as you guys want me to. Any other questions you got, hit me. Yeah, please.
Just wanted to give you gratitude and say thank you for the time. I will see you tomorrow. I'm gonna adjust my schedule so that I can pretty much be there because this is it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steven.
Sure. I appreciate
Have a
you.
good day.
Ciao.
Ciao.
David, you got one?
Yes.
Hit me.
Do you hear me? Okay.
I do.
The point is, I have kind of a small circle that I can contact, and I cannot add a lot of people in my Dream 25. So, do I try to invent something, or I don't know what to do at this.
Bashar, maybe you have an answer to this too, but I would just don't force yourself to fill everything out today. As the
Okay.
days go on, you'll think of other people, or those people will refer you to other people. So the goal is
Okay.
to build it organically. Someday I'd
Yeah.
like you to have like a dream 500 where these people have told you these people and these people, and now you just have this big list of business owners that you can help, right? But it doesn't have to happen today. Don't force it.
Yeah, because 5 people, that's a bit challenging for me right now. So
That's
that's
okay.
okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, Stephen, I gotta go too. Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Cool. Rock and roll. Anybody
Thank
else have any
you.
last? Thank
Thank you
you,
so
Patty.
much.
Any last questions before we go?
I'll be here for part of it
I
as much as I
I got
can.
one for you, Stephen.
Hit me, Eddie.
I'm driving right now, so I can't
Be
really
careful.
write anything down or whatnot. But I'm going to be DMing you later today, and with a few doubts that I have, some questions. So look for those later on today.
I
But
got you.
this first day was awesome. Lots of information. Looking forward to the rest. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Yeah, same here. I like a lot of helpful information the first day. I don't have any questions, so I'm gonna hop off. I gotta get ready for work, so I'll be back on tomorrow.
All right,
So I'm
team.
like multitasking here.
Let's call it for the day. I'll be in school all day. So if you have questions, hit me up there. All right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, team. Catch you tomorrow.